Hello, everyone. Welcome to restorative practice. I am looking forward to having this practice with you today. As usual, you'll want to have all of your cozies, your blankets, your pillows, your blocks if you have them. And we'll start out laying down on our backs. So go ahead and get comfortable. If you are laying down on your back and you want to, if you're on the surface of a floor, hard floor, you can take something underneath the back of the head and something underneath the backs of the knees. Sometimes it's just helpful, especially if it's hard for you to lay down with the legs stretched out if it's hard on your back. And then you might take one hand to the rib cage and one hand to the belly. Shrug your shoulders down your back. Maybe close your eyes. Just start to notice your breath here. And so we'll have a pranayama practice to start our practice of Viloma breath, which is that if you haven't done it with me before, just as a reminder, and also if you're new to it, it's 3 parts to inhale and 1 long exhale. So you imagine your whole torso like a vessel that you'll fill up from the pelvis all the way up to the top in 3 parts. So you'll take a sip of air into the pelvis and the belly and pause. And then another sip of air from belly to the heart and pause. One final 3rd sip of air in from heart all the way up to the head. Pausing at the top. And then exhaling all the air out through the nose. And so we'll try that a few times together, inhaling from the low belly, pausing at the belly. Inhaling to ribcage and heart. Inhaling from heart to the head. One long exhale. Keep going with that. Inhale, low belly. Inhale, heart. Inhale all the way up to the head. And then one long exhale. Again, inhale, low belly. Inhale to the heart. Inhale to the head. Exhale, let it go. Keep going. Inhale, low belly. Inhaling heart. Inhaling head. One long exhale. We'll do 3 more rounds like that. Inhale, low belly. Inhale, heart. Inhale, head. Smooth, complete exhale. Inhale, belly. Inhale, heart. Inhale, head. Completely exhale. One more time. Deep breath in, low belly. Inhale, heart. Inhale, head. Exhale, let it go. And then now just allow your breathing to return to normal and neutral. In and out through the nose. We'll start to set up for our next shape. And this is just going to be a very simple shoulder, back of the shoulder blade myofascial release by reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Let your palms face one another. So palms are facing one another, fingertips are reaching up towards the ceiling. And across our right elbow in front of our left, right elbow in front of left. And then it's like you're giving yourself a hug. You're reaching your fingertips around to the shoulder blades. Biceps moving towards the mouth. Elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. Not a super long hold here, but just kind of checking in with the back of the shoulder blade, the muscles that wrap around to the tricep. And notice where you feel pulling sensation. Notice where you feel dull, achy sensation. Even noticing an absence of sensation. Take one more breath here. Inhale, extend the arms, the fingertips up towards the ceiling, palms face one another. We're just gonna head in right into the second side. So left elbow crosses in front of right, bending the elbows, reaching your fingertips around to the back of the shoulder blades. Elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. Biceps kind of shifting over the mouth. And then you might notice any differences between this side and the first side. And again, just kind of noticing that sensation, even noticing the lack of sensation without judging it. It's okay to have a full range of experience from nothing to really anything. Take about 3 more breaths here. And then inhale, unwind the arms, stretching the fingertips up and overhead this time. Take a deep breath in across the rib cage into the belly. And then exhale, relax your arms down alongside the body and just pause here for a few moments. Letting any kind of new sensation wash through your shoulder girdle. We'll roll off to a side and press our way up to a seated position. We're going to get set up for our next shape, and it's going to be a bit of a twist. The shape we're going to set up right now is going to be a bit of a twist. And what you'll need are a couple of pillows or a stack of blankets. I'd like you to start off sitting on a hip. So I'm sitting on my left hip, all of my weight's on my left hip. My right knee is just behind the sole of my left foot. Okay, so my right knee is behind the sole of my left foot. So my knees are wide, my feet are wide. And then this pillow, so you can use a couple of pillows, stack of blankets, whatever, is coming out of my left hip. I'm going to turn and frame that out with my hands and then lower down onto my elbows, my forearms, and get as much of my belly as my chest as I can onto this cushion. And then I like to start off by setting my left cheek down onto the pillows or the bolsters, so that my spine's in kind of alignment. Um, and then when I get into a position where I can start to relax my spine, my glutes, my tissue, wherever it's tight. For me, that's typically my low back in this shape. And then I can think about adding on a twist of the head. Okay, so again, if you're just joining, I'm all the way on my left hip. My knees are wide. And I've got a pillow underneath my belly and my chest and the left side of my head. And I'm just starting to soften in and relax the shoulders and check out the neck and the shoulders. How does that all feel? If this feels like too much of a twist, what I'd recommend is adding more height underneath the belly and the chest. And if it's not enough, then you take away props underneath your belly and your chest. And maybe close the eyes if you like. Maybe see if you can get the elbows to relax a little bit more. And then if you want here, this is what I was saying about letting the spine be in alignment first before you add on more to the twist. If it's feeling like a good idea, you can turn your head away from your knees and let your right cheek rest on your cushions, your pillows, whatever you're laying on. And so that makes this more of a twist throughout the whole spine, including the neck, which that can be a lot on the neck. So feel free to unwind and come back to that starting position if it doesn't work for you. And it's okay when something doesn't work for you. Not everything has to be kind of like a picturesque yoga pose or what you think it should look like, or your body doesn't need to look like mine in terms of shape or depth. We all have different bodies. We all have different bony structures. And sometimes the bony structure has more to do with your range of motion than this idea of quote unquote flexibility. And then to the best of your ability here, let your breath be long and smooth in and out through the nose if you can. We'll take about 3 more breaths here. If you turn your head away from the knees, come back to that starting position. So left cheek, left hip. Take a moment, pause there. And then sliding the hands underneath the shoulders, press your way up. Briefly, we'll come into a seat. So we'll turn, so both sits bones are on the mat, stretch the legs forward. And then if you have that stack of pillows or blankets behind your spine, you can go ahead and take a moment to lay down on your back there. So my bolster is supporting the whole spine from the low back up to the back of my head. And I'm stretching the arms out wide, just breathing into the rib cage, into the belly here. Couple more breaths. Now I'll start to sit all the way up. And now you're going to turn all of your weight onto your right hip. I'm going to continue to face you, so I'm just turning around to the opposite side of my mat, but you don't need to do that necessarily. You can just rotate all of your weight to your right hip or whichever side you didn't do. Okay, so now I'm on my right hip, and then I'm sliding my left knee behind my right foot. Okay, so my left knee is behind my right foot. Both knees are wide, both feet are wide, both knees are bent a lot. And then this bolster, this cushion, whatever you're using is coming straight out of the hip socket. I'm turning and framing it with my hands. So I'm already kind of putting myself into that twist. And then I'll see if I can walk down onto the elbows, the forearms, get as much of your belly and your chest onto your support as you can. Start off with your right cheek down or facing the same direction as your knees. The head is facing the same direction as the knees to start. And then just kind of take a moment here to assess, what do you need, if anything? Do you need to make any adjustments in your props? Can you relax your shoulders and your neck? And just notice how it feels right now. I'll start to develop that relationship with your breath again, where you're noticing the inhale and the exhale. And then if it's a good idea for you, you might check this out. You might not know yet until you try it. If you want to try turning the head away from the knees, you first pick the head up and then looking away from the knees. Notice how that feels on the shoulder and the neck. And again, just noticing that sometimes it's not a good idea to take those progressions. Sometimes it's a better idea to stay where you are in your starting position. And it doesn't have to mean that anything's wrong with you. Just to the best of your ability for the next few minutes. Tune into your breath, relax your muscles, get heavy in your bones. Maybe close the eyes. And be here for about 1 more minute. If you turned your head away from the knees, start to bring the head back. So the spine just gets a little bit more neutral, a little bit less twisted. Pause there. And then when you're ready, palms underneath the shoulders, press your way up. Take your time with that, and we'll come onto our back again. Feel free to keep that support underneath the spine. So not underneath the hips, but starting at the low back and the shoulder blades, including the head. So just a very gentle back bend. You can spread your arms out wide. That might feel nice on the shoulders and across the chest. Deep breath here. Take a couple more breaths. And then just assess what you would like to do for your Shavasana. If you're comfortable where you are, you can stay. If you want to come off of your bolster, take that underneath the backs of the knees or pillows or whatever, and just get the spine to be in a little bit more of a neutral position. That's fine too. So get warm, get cozy, get supported. Relax your shoulders down your back, slightly tilt your chin in towards your chest. And then maybe if it's comfortable to place a hand on the rib cage and a hand on the belly, that might be nice. Maybe placing something over the eyes to block out any extra light. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Try that twice more. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. One last time. Just feel the weight of the body settling into your mat. Nothing left to do here. Just let yourself be in Shavasana for as long as you can.